Hello, hello, amazing Awakens. Good morning to any beautiful people listening in the Southern Hemisphere, and good evening for anyone else, like our beautiful guest, Fernando in Brazil. You have the beautiful Marie and Felicia here, and we're really excited to have you here today, aren't we, Flee?
Absolutely. This is like a topic and a chat that I've been longing to have, and also to welcome Fernando once again onto our beautiful space, because he has been a blessing in disguise for myself and Marie on this lovely journey of awakening. So yeah, I'd love to allow you to introduce yourself, Fernando, just a little bit more, and then we're going to kick it off into some lovely divine talking.
Thank you very much for inviting me here. Although the movement is called Awaecnian, now it's 8 p.m. here in Brazil, where I live. So it will be going to sleep instead of awakening, right? So very, very glad to be here, and also very flattered and honored for your invitation. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, it's so good to have you here. And I think I met you online. I don't know, somebody linked me to your page. I was like, oh, this guy looks great. And then I jumped into your group, and then we started chatting from there. And it's like, oh, let's jump on an interview. And we were just talking. I think the first interview you had with me, you were asking me about my own awakening journey and going within, and we're talking about heart expansion. And yeah, that was a really beautiful chat that I remember having. And I suppose one of the first interviews that I got to be a guest as, which was so lovely. And in this awakening process that we're seeing come to life more and more, you know, we've got beautiful people around us in communities, in our local communities, and also online, that are searching for these conversations, searching for answers, who are curious about knowing, well, why are they experiencing these things, and wanting to find people that resonate with them. And I know for you, Fernando, both Felicia and I were like, oh, yes, you've got wisdom. We could feel it. And when we spoke to you about a variety of different things in our own journey, you know, we could see that wisdom come through, and then we share wisdom with each other. So that has been beautiful to kind of have that friendship and brotherhood, and a real honor, because, you know, when we can see each other as human beings, as like sacred brothers and sisters, this is like how we build community, right? And I know Felicia and I were like soul sisters, and we came together, and a lot of the work we started doing was like, well, what is the feminine about? What is understanding our bodies and emotions are about as women, as mothers, in different stages, as educators, as teachers. And then as we've like unfolded and understood more, it's like, well, where's the balance and harmony with the feminine energy? There is also a masculine energy and a balance in the polarities of this existence. So we've spoken a lot about feminine energy in this space, but I'd love to ask you, you know, how would you define masculine energy? And what does that look like in the masculine frame? And then obviously you can go from there.
Okay, thank you for asking. So before getting into this, let me honor my teacher, Sujana Solar, who has been the main responsible for this awakening process I've been through. And we all have wisdom inside. We all have greatness to unlock and to share with others. I was fortunate enough to find the right people, and I was courageous enough in order to acknowledge my greatness. We all have greatness, but I had the courage, and most people could do that. Anyone can do that, actually. And he also pointed out that in his recent book that was introduced yesterday, he said something that everyone who is listening to this interview should know. Everyone. the world has been getting more harsher day after day. The matrix has been getting harder, and for some people it started to become unbearable. So that's why it is so important to stop comparing ourselves with others, to stop competing and start collaborating, and also to know that the planet Earth as an entity, as a living being, Mother Gaia, is also performing an ascension process. It's also performing an ascension to the 5D, to fifth dimension. Unfortunately, most human beings are not doing that. Only a handful of people are doing that at this time, and those are the ones who will have a very good probability of success and of survival in the future. So the times that we're first facing in the short and mid-term will be very challenging, and that's why it is so important to connect with our greatness and to connect with our masculine and feminine power. And this is where this topic comes into place. So we all have masculine and feminine energy. The masculine energy is more related with strength, with empowerment, with personal power, with feeling worthy of getting things done, with everything that is external. I want to achieve something. I want to be prosperous in my life. I want to make money. I want to get a good job or start a good business for myself and for helping my community and helping others, for instance. These are qualities of a man, right? Of the masculine side. Then we have the feminine side. Masculine side is most of all represented by the right side of our body. So if we are suffering from some physical ache in the right part of our body, it is most likely related with some with any kind of faults in our masculine side. For instance, some people are already facing some muscular pain in the right part of their back. Is because they're bearing too much weight and they have to let things go. For instance, they are carrying too much weight on their shoulders, too much responsibility, for instance, to make things happen. So it is important to let things go and stop wanting to control things. And then we have the feminine side, which is the left side of our body. And this side is more related with being loving, compassionate, with embracing others, also with understanding and accepting things as they are really, right? So of course, men have more masculine energy than women, and women have more feminine energy than men. This is how it sounds reasonable. But of course, in this modern society, we had become so masculine, affected by the masculine side, that we forgot to be loving. We forgot to be compassionate with others. We started talking about only achieving and getting goals and getting things done and all that. And we forgot about being loving, being compassionate with ourselves, not only with others, but with ourselves. And so many people forgot about themselves. And they end up the day so tired, so with so much things done. But at the same time, I asked this question to my friends: how much time do you dedicate to yourself per day? How many minutes? Not how many hours, how many minutes? Some people say nothing. If we don't practice self-care, we forgot about feminine side. We have to take care of ourselves. No one else is going to do that. So we all need a balance of our masculine and our feminine side. Regardless if we are talking about a man or a woman. Of course, women have more they have to have more developed their feminine side than men, right? So that's in a nutshell how it works, the masculine and the feminine side. Does it make sense?
Absolutely. And I love how you brought in the energy centers, because I myself, I carry too much weight. I know this because of the physical ailment in my shoulder, which also connects with your energy centers, which is what I also love to talk about. But what I'm, I guess, wanting to dive into a little bit more as a divine feminine in an awakened state, the message that women receive is to stand in your feminine essence to allow the divine masculine to rise into his. In that concept, have you had any experience in, like those challenges of, when you're actually not at the same level as yet, like trying to, I guess, bridge the barriers of our awakened levels and the lenses that we see?
Well, for many centuries, women have been neglected. The feminine power has been neglected, has been ignored, has been not taken into consideration in modern society. So as a consequence, many women come into this world too affected by dramas, right? And it's not something I am criticizing, not at all. I'm just understanding the situation. Many women say, "Oh, this is bad. That this happened to me. This other thing that is too bad also happened to me," and all that. So we have to understand that it's what we call patriarchy society, right? So we've been affected too much by the masculine energy, too much that we forgot to contemplate and to acknowledge the extraordinary power of women. In fact, the most powerful beings on earth are women, not men. So, and it is also said that when women get illuminated, when they achieve the illumination, they stop talking, and after they illuminate, they stay in silence. As opposed to men, when they illuminate, they start talking. It's something that sounds. How many men do we know that are illuminated and are spreading the word out there? And how many women do we know in that situation, right? So just to answer your question, women have it's very good that all the men in this world should acknowledge that they come from a womb, from their mothers. So we have to acknowledge the tremendous power that a woman is already carrying, because every single woman on this planet is carrying this tremendous power of being a vessel to allow the multiplication or the multiplication or the expansion of humankind. So many women have been affected by drama, but the most important thing is that if, for instance, women connect with according to Siberian shamanism, there are 3 chakras that are most prevalent in women: the throat chakra, the sacral chakra, and the front chakra. So the sacral chakra, the laryngeal chakra, and the front chakra. Those 3 chakras are more prevalent in women, are more powerful, much more powerful in women. That's why women have the ability to create through the right words. Create, not co-create, as many people think, oh, we co-create with God. No, we create, and especially women, they create with God. Even in the Bible, it says Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, but actually it is Father, Mother, and Son, because if there is no mother, there is no son. Right?
Yes. Oh, what a beautiful analogy. And I've heard many people talk about that too. And this balance that we were talking about with the feminine being able to receive, express, feel, and then our masculine to, that power, the courage to take action in reality. These pieces of understanding self when it's more in balance, like that self-care piece that you were talking about for every human being, when you can listen to your body and love yourself and bring your emotions into balance, because emotions are communicating things for your body to feel, like the body wisdom, the body keeps score of everything, so like you were saying, in this very patriarchal society, we're always go, 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 do. And, I really thank you for honoring and remembering the power of the feminine and hearing it from your voice and hearing it from, sacred brotherhood and humanity to kind of hear this is so, so powerful. And when it was interesting when you were saying, when the feminine, as Flea was saying, as we come and rise into our greatness, that illumination piece, it's that active listening that when the feminine rises, the masculine rises, and they come into their power, that Christ consciousness energy of them stepping into that divine warrior essence, which is to protect, to nurture, to care for sacredness in family, in relationship, in community. And that's the leadership that is very rare. There are people doing that. We've seen great people in time and space, men and women. But even on my own journey, and as I've been growing and learning to really actively listen to my husband, to my beloved, and hearing his dreams and what he wants in this relationship and how we can grow together, has been an evolution. And it has been beautiful, and it has been challenging, and it has been that heartbreaking. But then when the things crumble and we relearn to communicate and listen to each other, and this harmony gets to become stronger in relationship as we evolve together. And it has been a really beautiful process of creation and destruction at the same time. There was a beautiful Flea's been kind of witnessing these parts of me, but there has been destruction, but there's also been, now we get to rebuild, we get to recreate in our relationship, in our union. And like, even reflecting on ourselves as individuals, we had to destruct, we had to like have our own apocalypse and death processes, which are always happening. But then you get to create. It's like, creation, destruction, birth and rebirth, that resurrection process that we think about, this story of Christ going through that process, being able to come back to love, and Mary Magdalene seeing him, his equal, being able to use the third eye to feel that presence and be the first one to witness him in that higher consciousness. And that beauty with the feminine, the intuition, as you were saying, with the sacral, the throat, and the third eye, the ajna up here, being really heightened. It's really beautiful to kind of hear that. So for men, what's the most, I suppose, understanding the centers is a part of, I suppose, this process. Eventually it'll all be one, and none of that matters. But in our human state, we want to understand. So what are the most powerful centers for men then?
Well, I haven't studied that specifically, but according to my own experience and to hundreds of clients I've been working so far, without any kind of doubt, the solar plexus is the center, the main center power of men, right? Solar plexus is already here, and it allows men to achieve things, to feel powerful in front of certain situations. And in fact, many people, when they feel powerless, they say, I am fearful, I have fear, I have fear. And when they say that, they feel the fear in the solar plexus because there is no personal power at that moment. So what is something very, very typical that I do and I recommend to other people I've been working with, perform abs, especially abs in the superior abs, because it strengthens the muscles in the abs. And when we strengthen the muscles in the abs, we start to strengthen that area in our body, and progressively, along with other practices, of course, we start to connect with our personal power. Of course, there is work with the power animals, in this case a feline, which by embodying the feline, they give us a lot of feeling of personal power. We feel that many things we can achieve, many more things in comparison that of the situation of without the power animals, for instance. So that is one of the most important chakras for men. So another thing that we can develop, regardless of men and women, is our heart chakra, because many people see, I've been already seeing some posts and see about people that say, oh, how do you imagine an ideal life? How do you imagine finding the love of your life, for instance, or things like that? But if we haven't healed our heart, if we haven't healed our wounds, that is our emotional wounds, it won't make sense to build anything else. And it's also important to heal our heart, that according to my teacher, for instance, many people who have been already working in the for instance, for an illumination process, if they hadn't healed their own fears and they achieve illumination, they could become black magic people, right? So that's something really dangerous. So many people will say, oh yes, I would like to achieve ascension and illumination and all that. No, first we have to heal. It's of paramount importance to heal our emotional wounds, to get our personal power. Once we are healed, once we heal our own hearts, for instance, once we already heal that, we could face similar situations that in the past used to trigger us. And if we are healed, we are not triggered anymore. We can already flow through that situation without being affected. We can already face those same people, those same attitudes, without feeling any kind of triggers that make us feel uncomfortable or painful or things like that. So if we already achieve that point, then it's already fine with the important healing in this regard. And then we can move on with the following process. Of course, there will always be certain kind of things that we have to heal, but there are four main different things that we are facing as human beings or as spiritual beings in this human life. The first is karma. The next one is fear. The next one is ego, and the other one is shadow. The shadow is the accumulation of the fears from past lives, right? So how do we overcome karma? We overcome karma by serving. And I don't speak about serving others and then say, oh, I am serving this place because I want to be a better person. No. We don't have to talk about that. We don't have to promote ourselves for serving. That's not a true service. We have to serve from our hearts, and because it makes us feel better, because it is born from our hearts. Simple as that. Okay, so that is how we heal karma. Of course, we have personal karma, karma from the family, from society, from the country, from the planet, and so on. Then we have the fear. How do we overcome fear? By facing those situations until we don't feel triggered anymore, right? Of course, healing is of paramount importance. But then we have to face over and over those situations that used to make us feel fearful. And then the ego, how do we overcome? Same as a shadow. Of course, there are many processes to overcome ego. This is something I've been working for years. I've been looking for a path for over 20 years until I finally found one that really makes sense and is composed by people who practice what they teach. Sounds so simple and so basic, but there are only a few people in this world who practice what they teach. So that's in a nutshell.
I love how you said that. I've always sort of, I guess, being in the masculine essence a fair bit, it was more around like stability and personal safety and security. And for me, I guess I've always looked at the masculine essence as being that stability for the feminine. And, you know, that would be in our root chakra. What I find is that in conversations with a lot of men, and you hear this like even with women that are like, why won't he commit to me? Why won't he marry me? All these sort of things. And the men come back with, I need to have enough to provide. And this idea that being able to provide the things as they are, like the homes and, you know, being able to go to work, is very much that patriarchal society that we talk about. What are ways that men can start to, I guess, release this hold that I am just a provider and all I need to do is provide, you know, the home and the service, because ultimately, you know, we need them to be in that heart space and sharing their emotions in order to provide that safety that is that security or that foundational security that women actually need. Is there anything that you would suggest on that?
Well, of course, from ancient times, men used to, thousands of years ago, men in in ancient times, men used to go outside hunting to get the food, and the women were just at home taking care of the children, right? So it has been many times like that. Women stay at home and take care of the basic things at home, while the man goes outside and brings the resources to home. So that's why men used to talk only a little bit, because when they went outside hunting, they had to be very silent in order to get the prey they wanted. So, shh, shut up. The prey is over there. Okay, let's get there. So that's why men used to be only like this, go there and action, okay? And then get the things back home. And that's why when also, for the same reason, when women are used to speak too much, and that's totally fine, because they were already in a safe space, taking care of home, taking care of the children and all that. And of course, in modern times, things had been a little bit different. And many women forgot about their feminine side, and they ended up going outside for work and going back at home, taking care of the children, going outside of work, and when do they have time for themselves? You see? So the balance has been lost in a certain way. So it's up to us to recover this balance. All these days, we used to talk about that with my wife all the time. We have a 28-month-old son, Kawan is his name. He's very beautiful. He's here with me, and we used to take care of our son, because I told her, yes, you are the mother, but I'm his father, and I don't want to be an absent father. My father used to work too much outside, and my mother used to work too much outside, and I want to make a different story. I told my wife the following: I want to build a way of life. I want to serve others online so that I stay at home and I am with my son all the time I want. Okay, so I defined that. And first times we used to have some discussions because she told me, no, you are the man, you have to go outside and get the food for going back here. And I told her, I know you want that, but I don't want that for me. And I already know the consequences of that, or the consequences of being absent, of not being totally present, of just saying hello and goodbye to my son and not playing with him, not being able to share my quality time with him. So I wanted something different. Although you don't want, I want that. So we have some discussions about that. And finally, she understood that my position is a little bit different from my parents, because I took a decision to do something different. And then when my son was born, it's like I got my reconfiguration as a man, and I added another part in my head, which is taking care of my son. So not only I am working in my business as a coach and also an entrepreneur in developing new technological devices. We're just looking, finding the right investor for that, and a biofeedback device for helping people overcome depression, stress, and anxiety in 4 weeks with no side effects. And so I have this startup, I have my coaching business, and I have this wonderful company that you can see already at my side. So it's not easy to do that, but it is possible. How is it possible? Well, it's an art. It's an art. We have to work all the time, work on ourselves, not work on others. And I remember I asked to my mentor before Kawan was born. I asked to my mentor, how can I teach him the right lessons at the right time? How can I use that discernment? And he told me the following: you're not going to teach him. He's going to teach you. And yes, let me introduce you to my new teacher. His name is Kawan. And he's teaching me many, many things. And I said to him many times, thank you very much for teaching me, because I am learning to work more efficiently, to be a better father, to be a better husband as well, because it takes me to make the most of the time I share with my wife. Although I take care of my son and she takes care of our son, that's fine. We also manage to have some time together, my wife and I. Okay, so we also develop that relationship of couple, because many families forget to do that. It's not easy, but you require a lot of will and awareness, and asking to yourself all the time, what do I want? What do I want? Is it what can we do better? Some things better in a certain way. So let me know if that answers your questions.
Yeah, beautiful. And I love, like, even just through your storytelling, you can see this like rebalancing and rewiring of your own desires and wants, not only for yourself and your values for your family and what you wanted to do, but changing the lineage pieces. You know, you were sharing about those ingrained parts of humanity and the masculine that we're trained. It's part of the DNA to hunt, to gather, to do all those things, but we don't have to be in that framework anymore. So the fact that you chose to rewire, to set aside time to, you know, have those conversations with your wife about what you wanted and what she wanted, and coming to that new balance, and now you get to live the life that you want. And because you gave yourself time as well, we can see this harmony and balance within self, this like divine union of your feminine and masculine in yourself, and in those conversations with your wife in partnership as well. So I'd love for you to, like, you've touched on it with your story and your example. So when we're in balance and harmony and we see union happening within self and in partnership, to start with, like, what have you noticed with, I suppose, people that are working on themselves, working in healthy relationships, and the unity that happens with the energy? Like, just would love for you to share I suppose with your experiences with your mentor, with your clients, in conversations, in divine union and what that looks like and what that means in your life at the moment.
Okay, let me remind you of how I met my wife, because some people say it's a crazy story, right? But it happened to me, and it also happened to some clients I've been working with. When I was already in 2015, when I came here to Argentina in 2012, I was finishing another relationship. I have another romantic relationship I had with another partner that was from Argentina, where I am from. So when I came here, we finished that relationship, and then I started to look for other options here. And in fact, I had other options, but I was not feeling comfortable yet. I was feeling like something has to be worked on myself. So I decided to break up the one of the relationship I was having here. And then I said to myself, I will not get into another relationship until I heal myself, until I know how I enjoy my own company. So I decided, I took that decision, and I committed to that decision. One thing is saying that, another thing is sticking to that decision and making things happen and working on that. So I searched for a therapist at that time, and I told her about the situation. We worked on that, and at the end of the work of a few months, we will work together. I finally how my new relationship would look like. So I wrote a description. Okay, I want my new partner to be from this place. I want she to be from the north of Argentina. There was no one from the north of Argentina, let me tell you. But I was already deciding that. And I want her to be like this, like that, and she likes folk music, and she understands my crazy things, and some other details. A few weeks after that description, I met her. And when I met her, she told me, yes, I'm from the north of Argentina, and yes, I like folk music. And I say, oh, wow, she's already completing the list. And of course, I didn't tell her that, but we met just 4 days before she went back to Argentina. So she was here in Brazil for just 4 days. So we started dating immediately, and then I told her, because I really felt that from my heart, I told her, I want you to come back here and live with me. And she told me, okay, I'm going to do that. And I said, okay, wonderful. And it was simple like that. And a few months after that, she came here. She came back to Argentina, to Brazil from Argentina. And she said to me, okay, come here. Okay, wonderful. I have everything prepared for you. And we started enjoying life together. So we started to do that, and then we enjoy the wonderful life, right? So my message here is that we can only find the idea, the best life that we want. And yes, the law of attraction works, but it works only if we heal ourselves, if we really put our intentions to work on ourselves, and not just neglect the wounds, because things will not work in this way. That's why it worked in this this time, this opportunity, because I took a decision and I committed to that decision, and because of that, it started to work very, very well. And it worked with me. This life started to work with me, and I also took other similar decisions. I draw also other vision boards, and with other results as a couple of years ago, and the results are now part of my day-to-day life. So everything that we want from our hearts, everything that we want from our hearts will really work for us. But we have just to get in tune with our, to be honest and to be truthful to us.
Mm. You reminded me of advice I gave to a friend, but I guess I never really took, which was very simply what you said there, like get to know yourself, do the things you love, and the people, and I guess it goes the same for finding your tribe too, or your friends, is that, you know, when you are actually doing what is really truly what you love, the people that are meant for you are going to be in those places because they're going to have the same passions and the same dreams. And it's one of those things that I guess, you know, in relationships, we tend to forget. We tend to forget the things that actually bring us joy and the things that light us up, because ultimately, you know, if we look back on our relationships, we can go, at the beginning, I did this, this, and this. And I actually had the conversation, you know, with my partner recently. I said, you know, if we were to date now, do you think that we would even get to the dating stage? Like, you know, our profiles on, you know, online dating apps would be completely different. Like, I definitely wouldn't be the innocent, naive, shy girl that had no self-confidence. I would be more powerful and dynamic in my speech. So like, when I look at that, yes, we're growing together in the relationship, but I think a lot of couples actually need to take time to reevaluate whether or not you're still compatible, whether or not you're actually working to find the things that make you compatible. And I guess that's kind of another challenge for a lot of people. Would there be anything either of you would suggest for that? Like how to find yourself and still find some way to connect with your partner while you're in a relationship going through these changes? Because ultimately an awakening is, you know, finding yourself and healing past the things that limited you before. So what suggestions, you know, we don't want everybody to just go out and dump their partners and leave their relationships and things like that. We want to be able to grow together and support. How can we find ourselves and find that connection back with our partners?
Well, the audio was cut, but I understood what you meant with the question. So just coming to what you said, when you talk about connection, I remembered about an exercise, a very simple, but a very beautiful one. And it is sitting on front of one in front of the other and touching with the thumb, touching the other person's pulse and feeling the heartbeat. And start to breathe slowly until our heartbeats synchronize. Look at the eyes of the other person and start to breathe slowly and deeply. And then we will see that our heart rate will start to synchronize with the other, with our partner's heart rate. And at that moment of synchronicity, we can already deliver our message from our heart. This is so beautiful. And I remember times when I did that with my wife, very, very beautiful things happen. In fact, Kawan came to this world after we did the ceremony. So it's not just like, okay, going out and making love and all that. No. It's something even deeper than that. And for those who have some kind of intuition already developed or activated, they will feel when their child is being incarnated into this world. So I remember that night we did a ceremony. We light up some candles. We took that time for ourselves. Okay, let's go outside because the night is really beautiful. Let's light up a candle. And we went outside. And after we came back home, the energy was so beautiful that after we had our loving relationship with this wonderful, after we made love, I felt the presence of my son already arriving here, like a dazzling star. I think that's the name, right? Like a dazzling star, that a star that comes like this. And I felt so clearly that at that moment, with my intention, I said, "Welcome, son, welcome." And I didn't know that it was a son or a daughter, but I felt very clearly. A few weeks after that, a month after that, actually, my wife already did the examinations, and it was positive, of course, EVA test. And she told me, "Oh, I am pregnant." I told her, "Yes." "Did you know that?" "Yes." "When did you know that?" And I told her about the situation. And I told her, "Do you remember that night?" "Oh, yes, I also felt that, but I just ignored that fact." Well, I didn't ignore. So we all feel that. We just have to acknowledge the fact. And when we acknowledge those tiny pieces of information, some of them may become a part of a very big change in our life. And this change is called Kawan nowadays. So just answering your question, Felicia, we just have to take at least one night per week for the couple. Okay, that's what I do with my wife. If we don't take one night because we don't have fathers or fathers-in-law or sisters or any other family support, because we build our own support here for our son, we say, okay, we don't take the night, but we will take the day. We'll take some time together to perform yoga and to connect with ourselves, something that both of us enjoy very much. So if anyone wants some piece of advice, remember why you choose your partner. Remember why you decided to live your life with that partner. And it's not like taking for granted that because you got married or because you live with your partner, you don't have to do anything in order to conquer that person, right? There has to be always a seduction process and all that. Even though we have been married for 20 plus years, whatever, but it's part of the taste. It's part of the pepper and salt of every single relationship. And that's why, for instance, we just have fun. We just do things together that we keep doing things together that we enjoy. She dances and I play music and I say, okay, come here, play with my son. And then our son goes to sleep. And then when he goes to sleep, we say, okay, time for us. Then we can do other things different. So let me know if that's the answer they are looking for.
Beautiful. Oh, thank you, Fernando. And it's beautiful to like hear you talk about that sacredness, but honoring your partner. You know, there are many ways that we can connect intimately, but to honor in that process, I feel has also been lost over time, you know. So thank you for just being vulnerable and sharing in a really beautiful and respectful way part of your relationship as well. Because yeah, we forget sometimes to like go and have a date or go and do something together, or even if it's just a walk. So it's so simple, and just to connect and to go back to what Flea was saying as well, like when we're growing and learning, people will either come along for the ride and the journey and continue to choose you, and you continue to choose them. And if they don't, because you're offering and you're continuing to do the work and, you know, try to come to that balance and harmony that's equal. And if they're not meeting you in that, it's then again sitting with yourself about your desires and what you want out of a relationship and how you want to be honored. And it's not an easy decision for people to decide to part ways. But yeah, it's those pieces of well, what do you want for yourself in all aspects of your life, in your relationships, in your home life, in your work, to see all facets of you. And if anyone's listening that's maybe in that hard spot, just come back to honoring yourself. And like you said, take one day at a time. You may find that things shift and change beautifully. But if they don't, then also come back to yourself. And you can only make that decision of leaving someone if it's not in respect to your sovereign being of who you are. So yeah, we can continue to choose, and we continue to keep offering and inviting. It's that invitation piece, inviting our family, inviting our loved ones, inviting our communities, you know, to grow with us. And even Flea, when you're talking about tribe and community, you know, we keep creating these opportunities and keep being resilient and courageous, and we'll keep inviting, and the people will come, the tribe will come. And sometimes it's hard, and sometimes people don't have that invitation, you know.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so that invitation to just honor yourself, honor your beloved ones, honor your community and your tribe, and just keep offering those pieces of invitation. Ah, gosh. Are there any other final comments, Flea, from you?
I really felt like, as Fernando, you said, your son is now your teacher, and that really resonated with me, because my heart has always been with the youth. And I guess in seeing, you know, that potential, that creativity, but it's the exploration. And as you were talking about, you know, how you connected with your wife, it's that exploring them. It's challenging yourself to actually, you know, look past what they used to be to see what they've become now, and to really dive into, you know, how you can love that more. And yeah, that was really powerful, because the connection with those children and the innocence and the constant exploring, because, you know, they don't know. So they are always, oh, okay, well, what next? What next? What else can we do? What next? But really taking that time to actually give your partner time is really, really important, and like valued time more so than, okay, yeah, we sit together all day. That's fine. You know, you're right there at dinner time, and you're right there at, you know, bedtime and all of that. But that real quality deep down, like, can you have a conversation with your partner? Can you actually, you know, take the time to hear them out without, like you said, Fernando, the ego coming in to trigger you and to, you know, make it about yourself? Because ultimately, sometimes it's just being heard. It doesn't have to actually mean anything, and it doesn't have to be real or even true. It just needs to be heard in order for that throat to be unblocked, in order for us to actually, you know, feel safe. And I think that's the same for both men and women. There is no difference with that. So yeah, thank you so much, Fernando. That's so beautiful. And I really love that technique, and that'll be beautiful to try. Don't want any babies though.
Thank you.
No babies.
Oh, you never know. And that beautiful
Yes,
piece of conscious parenting, like you connected, but you felt the energetics, and it was this real beautiful conscious piece of like bringing, you know, through that love making, through that creation process, and feeling the energy of that soul coming through, and that real conscious piece of life-giving force coming through. And children are a gift, so it's beautiful. We spoke about self, we spoke about partners, we spoke about family and children and tribe, spoke about everything.
Yes, let me tell you one very fun fact. Uh, when I was dressing my son the other time. No, in fact, my wife was dressing our son. He said he told to my wife, "Caballo, caballo, caballo," which means horse, because they see our power animals. My wife has horse as a power animal, and we didn't even tell the name for that for her. We didn't even tell, oh, she has a horse. No. He just said that spontaneously. He said horse like this. So for those people who say, oh no, you're just talking about things, it's something that you believe and all that, tell to a 2-year-old, to these 2-year-old masters, teachers, what are they already being implanted? Nothing. They just are. We have to learn from them to just be. The other day, last week, I had a session with a beautiful person. She's goal oriented. She talks about goals, and all that. But I told her, when was the last time you just decided to be, not to do or to get things done, just to be? When did you took some time for you just to do nothing and just to be you? And she told me, oh, it has been a very long time. So if we want to do something different, instead of saying, I'm going to do something in addition to what I used to do, I would suggest stop doing, stop doing too many things, do less, set aside some time for yourself, for practicing any ancient practices, which is going to become of paramount importance in the future. At least 10-minute meditation when you wake up in the morning. I set aside at least 10 minutes in the morning for meditation before all my family wakes up, and that's my me moment. I decided just to be, and when we decide to be, especially at the start of the day, things start to work so beautifully in just 10 minutes, you know. So that's my final message. We just have to be.
Beautiful. Love that. And how can people find you, Fernando, if they're like, he's great. Where can I find more of him?
Yes, thank you very much. You can find me on social media, on Instagram or Facebook, PhD Fernando Coach on Instagram, and in Facebook also PhD Fernando Coach, or as my name, Fernando Marengo Rodriguez, or via email fmarengorodriguez at gmail.com. We can already copy and paste that information below the information of this video, okay?
Yeah, that sounds great. And if anybody else has loved this interview, come and check out our other interviews that Flea and I have done. There have been some amazing speakers that we've had from around the world. And we also have just us two talking about life and experience, where there's just been nuggets of gold that have come out in our conversations, in our experiences of where we're at. And this power of storytelling, I feel like sometimes we underestimate the power of just sharing experience and the insights that you can get from listening to others, and the little tidbits of information, like sitting with, I mean, we've spoken about this in many different ways, sitting to meditate, going out into nature, connecting with your heart, all of these really simple things. But come and listen. They're all in our Facebook page at Awaecnian Academy, on our Facebook page that we have together. And we also have an amazing website, don't we, Flea?
Absolutely. Awaecnian.academy.com. So Awaecnian is the traditional Latin spelling for awakening, which is AWAENIAN. So Awaecnian. Academy.com. at the moment it is building. Our interviews will be going onto the website. So if you need to find the links for our beautiful speakers, they will be on the website. You just find their photo, click their links, and you have that wealth of knowledge at your fingertips. We are all about bringing together beautiful people that have the skills and have mastered their abilities in able to teach us in the best ways. And we are willing and grateful to have beautiful people share that experience, and we are sharing as well. So yeah, Awaecnian Academy.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for your time, Fernando. And I'm sure we'll be chatting again very, very soon. Bye.
Thank you, amazing souls. Viva Awaecnian Academy.